Hola, hola, hola guys, it's me again, and I decided to just go ahead and do this video even though I'm still not feeling type well. I have that you know, that sexy sickness voice going on where like you sound totally sexy but you feel like crap. But it's okay. So I wanted to go into this video, and this should be relatively a pretty short video because it's gonna be pretty much to the point. We're gonna be talking about foundation. My last video I had shown you guys the new dewy foundation from Wet n Wild, and I had mentioned that I did purchase the one from NYX as well, and I wanted to give a review on that one. I couldn't do a first impressions video on that one because I actually have been using it, so to do a first impressions, I mean, it's just not gonna be genuine. You know, it would just be weird for me to put it on and go, oh my god, I like this foundation when I've already tried it, you know? So I'm just gonna go and just give you my opinion, my review on this foundation. So if you have not seen it yet, this is how it looks. This is the Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. They also have the concealer, that is the Born to Glow Radiant Concealer right here. So I have used both. I am using both. I'm actually going between the two, and I just really, to the point, like this foundation. I honestly have never tried a foundation from NYX. This is my first time trying it, but for the first time in trying one of their products, which happens to be a foundation, it's really good. I mean, I know NYX definitely, you know, I'm familiar with their eyeshadows and their lipsticks and things like that, but I never really tried their facial products. Like their first facial stuff was like the Glass collection that I had done a review on, which was the primer and all that, and I did thoroughly enjoy that. So I am excited to report that I like this foundation. It's very affordable. It's $10, 10 bucks. You can get this on the NYX website. You can also get it on Ulta, and you can also get it in certain pharmacies depending where you are. They also have them, I believe it was CVS if I'm not mistaken. They also have it at Duane Reade. So not all of the pharmacies carry them, but if you happen to find one, lucky you. So there are about 44, I believe it's 44 or 45 shades. Just gonna go into my phone right here to just confirm that. So yes, it is 45 shades. So wow, that's a lot of shades, guys. You should be able to find your shade range. For me personally, on the second try I got it right. I hate ordering foundation online, but you know, I haven't been near an Ulta or anything like that, so I decided to get online. The first foundation I got was like way too light. I think I got it in porcelain, and it was like, listen, you're fair, but you're not that fair. So like, I went ahead and then switched it, and I went and got the light ivory, which is perfect, as you can see. It to a T, fit perfectly. I also got the concealer in the same color, light ivory, because I didn't really want it to highlight, so to say, even though it kind of does anyway, which is nice, a nice subtle highlight, but I kind of just wanted it to do what you would normally use a concealer to do, which is just to conceal the imperfections under your eyes. So yeah, coverage. Oh, coverage is very, very nice. I'm just gonna go into the phone really quickly just to read really quickly here. So it's a smooth foundation, blah blah blah, medium coverage, and it's an exclusive range of 45 flattering shades. It's a liquid foundation, smooth even tone glow. So it really doesn't say much. It's pretty much just, you know, gassing up the product, but this is definitely a medium coverage. I'm gonna say that this can probably even be a full coverage. I kind of find, and I was kind of going between the two, just in case you were interested, between the Wet n Wild and this one. What is the difference? Because they are both dewy formulas, and I would say that the difference to me would be coverage. I feel that the Wet n Wild is just a little bit lighter in coverage than the NYX. You can probably build up the Wet n Wild, but the NYX is definitely more coverage. So if you are looking for an affordable foundation with a dewy finish, that's going to give you just a little bit more coverage, and you want to be just a little more confident in your coverage, I would recommend getting the NYX Born to Glow. They're both great foundations, but the NYX foundation is definitely way more coverage. It's a little bit more darker, not darker, but it's a little bit more thicker in consistency, but not too thick. It has a good amount of a nice liquidy and a nice thickness to it, if that makes any sense. So it's not too thin, it's not too thick. I feel that it's just right. And I actually, for me, like a little bit goes a long way, I kind of found. It also depends on what sponge you're using. I find that if you use a sponge like the Beauty Blender, where I feel that the Beauty Blender soaks up a little bit more of foundations in general, as opposed to, let's say, the Morphe Beauty Blender or the Wet n Wild Beauty Blender that I have purchased, their Velvet version. I kind of feel like it depends, but overall, the coverage is fantastic. I had no issues. It blended on so well. It blended evenly, just beautifully. Beautiful coverage. It just covered up everything right away. Again, the color was perfect. I really didn't have, thank God, too much trouble trying to figure out what my color is. I kind of have, like, I don't know, kind of this thing against companies that come out with foundations that say, you know, coconut light and fondue brown, you know, like, listen, I don't know what that means, you know. Is it cool toned? Is it warm toned? Is it neutral toned? You know, just let me know what kind it is. I don't care about like pretty names on shades. Just tell me what the shade is so that I can buy the correct shade, you know what I mean? Now, as far as the formulation, since this is a dewy formula, it's not gonna be matte, not a matte finish. I would say, and me having, you know, combination oily skin, I did blot throughout the day. Was it horrible? It wasn't. But then again, it's not summer yet, so we're gonna see how it goes in the summer. But as far as I'm concerned, the coverage lasted all day. I didn't really experience too much patchiness. And when I say too much patchiness, I mean just a tiny bit of it on my nose. And again, only because I have combination oily skin, and I realize this, I recognize this. I know that a lot of those dewy formulas are just not going to work well with oily skin. However, this foundation did work pretty well with my skin, considering I was pretty ready, you know, with my blots, and I'm ready to like blot my face during the day because this is a dewy formula. But honestly, it actually worked pretty well, and I blotted during the day, but I didn't blot more. You know what I mean? I didn't blot more, I didn't blot less. I blotted just the same as with, you know, my other regular foundation. So I kind of felt that that was good. I also like that it did last all day. I didn't experience it running or rubbing off or anything like that. Towards the end of the day, you can tell I was getting, you know, a little bit shiny around the nose, a little bit shiny on the forehead. You know, places that you know that you're gonna get greasy, you know you're gonna get oily there. But other than that, the foundation was intact. So I really like this foundation. As far as the concealer is concerned, because I've been talking about the foundation and I almost forgot about the concealer. I like the concealer as well. First of all, the color was on tack. It was right on the money, the color. It actually gave a nice, you know, highlighted, yeah, I'm gonna say like a nice highlighted almost look to the eye. Nothing dramatic. So if you want a more highlighting, you know, effect on your eyes, then you're going to want to go a shade or two, a little bit lighter if you really want that highlighting effect going on. But if you really are just looking for a true concealer, just to cover up imperfections or bags or whatever it is, it's safe to just go with the same color that you would get with your foundation. I found that it was very nice and creamy. There was minimal creasing. I have to say that. There was not a lot of creasing. I had a little bit of creasing like right over here, but it was nothing terrible. It wasn't a deal breaker for me. I mean, you just put some powder, or you know, you just pat it on, you know, during the day to fix it up. But I really didn't feel like it was such a horrible, awful thing. I think personally it probably does that because it's just a little bit of a more creamy formula, but I liked the formula very much. It blended really well in my eyes, just synced in so nicely. I didn't have to try so hard to blend it in. You know, there's some concealers out there that, you know, they're just really dry, or they're so creamy that they're just really cakey and just creasy up in those lines, and you definitely don't want to call out any lines under your eyes that you have already. So I kind of feel like this formula really met the expectation for me in that aspect, that it was just really nice and creamy. It wasn't overdone, and it was really nice coverage. I'm going to say a medium, almost to full coverage. For me, that's how it looked for me anyway, and I just really overall really enjoyed the formula. I am very surprised because I mean, let me tell you, it's been a long time since I've done, you know, pharmacy foundations. I don't know, I guess maybe I got spoiled with Ulta, Sephora, whatever. And it's just always in my brain that, oh, you know, I get a drugstore foundation, you know, it's not going to be the same, it's not whatever. But honestly, I have been using this foundation pretty much every day, and the concealer as well, and it makes my face nice and radiant. Even if I put a powder on top to try and mattify, you can still see, you know, that radiance going through, and I really enjoy that. So you can go ahead and put your powder like I do. I don't put powder all over my face. I put it on certain points of my face, you know, where I know that I'm gonna get greasy. But even doing that, it's just so nice. It covers everything really nicely, and even with the powder, my skin still looks luminous. So what am I saying with all this gibberish, people? Is that I like the foundation. I like the foundation, I like the concealer. I recommend that you get it if you're looking for a nice dewy foundation with some good coverage at an affordable price. I mean, 10 bucks, you really can't go wrong. The concealer, I didn't tell you how much the concealer is. Let me see if I can get it here quick. Oh, it's $9. So that's the Born to Glow Radiant Concealer, and that is 9 bucks, and it comes in 24 shades. So a couple of shades less, but you know, we'll be confident that you can find the correct color to go under your eyes. But I definitely recommend this foundation. I've been using it a lot lately. I've been using it in conjunction with the Wet n Wild, going back and forth, but I kind of feel myself, you know, using the NYX a little more, only because, you know, I have to go out, I'm going to work. Like if I'm going to work or something like that, you know, I want a little bit more coverage. But if you definitely want a little more lighter coverage, you can go with the Wet n Wild. But I definitely recommend the NYX and the concealer as well. So yay! 2 thumbs up for me, like them very much. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it was totally short, just like I said, to the point. I just wanted to get on here and explain the foundation. Oh, and before I forget, there's no fragrance. I experienced no rashes or breakouts or anything of the sort. So you should be okay, hoping. Should I look on here and see if there's anything that says anything wrong? No, not that I think of, not that I know of. So yeah, I'm just babbling. So guys, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that I answered some questions in the video. I know that was kind of short, but like I said, it was to the point. Good coverage, affordable, looked great, lasted pretty much all day. And I think it's safe to say for oily combination. And again, you know, everyone has their own, you know, opinion, and everyone has their own way with how their skin is. So the foundation might have worked great for me, it may not work great for someone else. Everyone, you know, skin is different, but just telling you from my humble opinion, it worked out very nice for me, and I like it very much. I do, you know, realize that I'm gonna have to, you know, blot and all that stuff during the day, because I naturally have combination oily skin. If that is not an issue with you, then you should not have an issue with this foundation, so and the concealer. So thank you guys again for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Adios.